Hi there, Dave with Crandall office, and can you sit cross-legged in the brand new Steelcase Karman chair? Let's find out. All right, so I've been sitting in the brand new Steelcase Karman for about a week now, and one of the more frequently asked questions we've been getting is how this new flexible seat design accommodates cross-legged sitting or sitting with one leg tucked underneath the other, especially in comparison to the Aeron chair, which is the other primary big name mesh chair that we'd be looking at side by side, and one that is kind of known for not sitting very well with a cross-legged or tucked underneath position. And so we've got the two chairs here side by side, so let's take a look at the seat designs first, and just so we can get a kind of lay of the land and why the Aeron has always been notoriously bad for cross-legged sitting. So let's take a closer look at that now. So first, let's take a look at the Aeron seat design, and the first thing that we're going to notice is that it's a very hard plastic design, and they did that for structural reasons, obviously, and but it also kind of swoops up on the sides. And you can see how pronounced that gets towards the hip area, but it really starts kind of protruding upwards here towards the front. And so as you can see, if I'm going to sit even with one leg tucked underneath me, I'm hitting my ankle on this hard edge that's sticking up. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. And one of the reasons that the Aeron is been very well known to not be a great chair for people that are cross-legged sitting is because of that hard frame and just how your leg is going to be interacting, whether it's your calf or your ankle hitting this hard frame. It really creates a terrible pressure point. I've never been able to sit in this chair in that form or fashion. Okay, so now let's take a look at the new Karman chair seat design. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of flex and movement built into this seat. Now, it's not a soft frame. It does have some rigidity to it, but it's definitely a lot softer and more flexible than this hard frame that we see on the Aeron. So when I sit, and I do sit this way probably about 25% of the time, you can see I can sit this way and it's no problem. I've been working this way for about a week now, and like I said, about 25% of the time I'm sitting just how you see me now, even though I know I'm not supposed to. And it has not really been an issue. It's very tolerable. And so if we're comparing the two between mesh chairs and which one would sit better from a cross-legged or one leg tucked under position, the Karman is hands down a much better choice than the Aeron chair, at least in my opinion and my perspective on what I've done. That hard edge it hits into my ankle and it is so uncomfortable, whereas this has some give. It's also not as big of a frame. You can see how much wider this frame is. It just seems to be a much more acceptable option when we're comparing the Karman to the Aeron. All right, so now that we've established that the Karman is a better cross-legged sitting chair than the Aeron, I do want to kind of compare it to a more traditional seat pad design that's going to lend itself a little bit better yet to cross-legged or under-leg sitting. I've got the Gesture here, and the reason I chose the Gesture is because that was my daily driver before. I've been test driving the Karman, so I'm very familiar with it, and sit with one leg crossed underneath the other on this chair all the time. So the Gesture is one of the kings of cross-legged sitting in my opinion, primarily due to the arm designs, how far out they go, but also how much real estate, because they do come out of the back. You can see I've got a lot of room, so even if I want to go into a full cross-legged sitting, I've got tons of space here to do that. This is going to be a much better option if you are sitting with one leg tucked underneath or cross-legged sitting for an extended period of time, or probably more than 50% of your time. I don't find that it's a problem because I only do sit in there for, I would guess, about 25% of the time. But if I were sitting cross-legged more, a Gesture or something with a padded seat design is just going to be a better choice. All right, so to wrap up, the new Steelcase Karman chair is actually a pretty decent chair for sitting cross-legged or with one tucked underneath the other. It's certainly worlds better than the Herman Miller Aeron chair in that regard, just due to how those seat designs are arranged. That said, if you're going to be sitting for 50% or more of your time cross-legged or with one leg tucked underneath, something like a Gesture or just anything with a traditional seat pad is going to be a much more comfortable option for you. You still do have some pressure points, even though they're vastly minimized from something like an Aeron. But if you're really going to be sitting like that for a long time, I would still encourage you to go after a traditional seat pad design. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found this video helpful, please click the like and subscribe buttons below. If you've got any other questions of videos that you want answered on the new Steelcase Karman, let us know in the comments below. We'll make sure to get to those and shoot some more videos on specific questions about this chair. If you've got any questions at all about this chair or any others, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on our website, crandalloffice.com, or our Facebook page, or anywhere else you can reach us. We're always here to help. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hi there, Dave with Crandall Office, and what was I gonna say?
Oh, I don't know.
Have always been widely. All right, so to wrap up the Karman, it's the Karman. All right, so to wrap up, the Steelcase Karman chair is a pretty good chair to sit cross-legged or with one leg. All right, so to wrap, action.